A very big welcome to you, my dear Aries. So the sun is now in Aquarius, giving the light to the moon. And the moon, of course, is in your sign. And this moment exists only once a year. But if we include the other planets, then this moment exists really only once in your life. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and so Uranus, which is also connected with the Fool, is that new beginning and the beginning of a new hope. And also Pluto has moved into Aquarius, is going to stay until September, goes back to Capricorn for 2 months and then goes for 20 years into Aquarius and stays for 20 years. So Pluto is going to give here through Aquarius a new perspective to hope. You are ruled by Mars. Mars is, of course, that push, that energy that says, let's do it, let's go for it, right? And so we see a very interesting combination. She's looking at you and saying, so what are you going to do with this empowerment? Are you doing the right thing? And we're going to the left. That's why I placed a card here and not here. We're going to the left to your new moon, which is in the second next reading. So the yoga position for you is meditation. You don't have a yoga pose per se. You have the final asana, right? Padmasana, the lotus pose. And so here you are looking in all 4 directions and understand that the 5th direction is that inner knowledge. Aquarius has side plank stretching up into the sky because it's an air sign, but also 1 foot and 1 hand is on water and on land. And so it kind of marks a very interesting kind of like combination. You are the Queen of Wands, and as such you're very creative, very sexual. You are water and fire, and that's not always easy. So if your birthday is between March 12th and April 9th, then she is your court card. If not, please look in the description below. I have listed all of them there. You are the first house of self and personality and this extroverted kind of energy. And you're sitting here, right, in your meditation, finding your identity. And so that's what you are feeling, right? When we talk about the first house, you are Aries, the fighter, the one that steps in and does, if she feels like it's necessary, takes on the fight. Back to the last reading, where Capricorn Sun gave you the light. To sacrifice means to make sacred that which fulfills your heart. So recognize that moment, right, of the sacrifice, which came in reverse, and it's the number 44. And so there is a portal that has talked to you, right, because you are the 4th major arcana, and the star is the 17th major arcana. So there's a 10, right, a wheel of fortune, and the 7, the emotional intelligence that we gain through the chariot, and then together an 8, we get the strength out of that to be hope, to be that inspiration up in the sky. So Uranus is now talking through Aquarius to us, and I want to use a separate deck for Uranus because we have usually on the position of the Fool also Uranus connected, right? But here I have the Carrie Yale Visconti tarot deck, and on the Fool I have the Visconti Sforza tarot. So you would think, oh, it's the same, but it's not, because here on the Carry Yale, we have all court cards, masculine and feminine. And that's Uranus. That's this like, okay, where is this egalitarian energy coming from? It's Uranus. It's always Aquarius that is bringing the future, that is bringing us from high above, right? The star here is Apollo sitting in front of the Taj Mahal. The Taj Mahal is built for eternal love, and he's holding that star, and he's looking out, right, to the extroverted path, to the right, extroverted, to the full moon, to the left, introverted, to the new moon. And so today the reading is to the left. We're going to your new moon, and the birds are chirping like crazy. Yeah, so let's see what is coming here. What is Uranus wanting to tell you through Aquarius? Wow. Scorpio, death, the number 13. So there is a 10 in the Wheel of Fortune, and the 3 is the Empress. So Uranus is saying, hey, have a look, right? When you go deeper within, you need to let go. You need to transform. You need to trust this process. So just go for it, right? Don't be scared. Just do it. And you will see then the 4 appears. When you really understand the 10 as that Wheel of Fortune, when you really understand the feminine aspect of the Emperor, which is the Empress, then you appear. Then you can really say, well, I really transformed, I really shifted. And so here is a very beautiful message that's coming to you. Now, here Pluto is ruling Scorpio. And so for Pluto, I have a deck as well. And that deck is Lifruma Healing Oracle. And so I'm going to pick a card for you out of this really incredible deck. And see what Pluto through Scorpio wants to tell you. And so here the next card is the number 73, raise, explore, alchemize. And so there is then the 7, which is of course that emotional success that I talked about, which is also in Aquarius, right? The 17. And the 3 again, the 3 that is here in Scorpio, the Empress. So the feminine aspect, include the feminine aspect, because water and fire are feminine and masculine energies, and that's the hexagram. Calculated together, we get the 10. And so the 10 here of the Scorpio, the Wheel of Fortune, is then a new cycle can begin. And so Uranus is literally saying, yes, then a new cycle is beginning. You are stepping further and deeper into yourself. And so on the position then of the Fool, right, comes here the Ace of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles is, when we look at it, right, that 1 and the 0, again a 10. So there's a 10-10 portal talking to you, but I'm just gonna right now read you what this card here is saying. Raise, explore, and alchemize. Alive and eager, desiring to dive and drink in the new. All the old gold has dulled. Inventiveness slips in like a sea fret, curling its damp, vapory tendrils towards the land where you stand. The crawling, calling frequency of open waters. Rand's mystical nautical daughters craft the waves. The crashing adventure seeking to sail you forwards to explore life, to alchemize potential and soar to your sacred shore. Wow, right? It's like, okay, the transformation is imminent. The transformation then here of the Fool, that crazy idea that's saying, yes, see the financial perspective on a new level, and see that the transformation here through Pluto, Pluto bringing you here the 73, the 10, a 10-10 portal, a very clear message that something new is wanting to come to you, which brings money, which brings you the holy money, right? And that's what Uranus is literally telling you. Here in these three cards, if I calculate all of this together, we have the 13, which is the 4. We have the 73, which is the 10. Then we have 14 plus 1 is 15. Well, guess what? Capricorn Sun back then said, to sacrifice means to make sacred that which fulfills your heart. What fulfills your heart? And so here comes the Ace of Pentacles. This fulfills your heart, to make new money, to make old money new, and transform first, right? Become the emperor here in that transformation, and then become the Wheel of Fortune, become that new endeavor, and then the one and only material holy pentagram is actually coming and saying, well, then you're going to make that kind of money, because that's what Uranus is bringing to you. Well, what a great message, right? So here you have now already the information that money is coming, but in a new way. And on the position of the Magician comes here the Hunter, the 27. So the 27 calculated together is the 9, then you get a completion. But what's interesting here is that she is looking at the money, she is looking outwards, right? And that's where we make the money, and the Bear is looking to the left. So your subconscious is still a little like, okay, sleepy maybe, because the 27, here we again have the 7 of the emotional intelligence of the Chariot, and the 2 is the High Priestess. With the 1 we get again a 10 here, and so you have 1, 2, 3 times the 10, right? Just by following, and 3 times the 10 means, yes, the Empress is telling you to begin to see things on a more feminine and inclusive masculine way, because the 7 is the 3 and the 4, right? The masculine and the feminine calculated together. And so you can see that there is immediately quite a deep message. Now I wanted to see, of course, what is Mercury bringing, because here the Magician is connected with Mercury, and here comes the Sun of Wands, which is facing the right. And the Sun of Wands is Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is that active, going out, right? You are more passive because you're a queen and you let things done for you. You delegate, and so the Knight here, which is here dancing to his tribe, to the people that he trusts the most, he's dancing his wild dance. And so in a way, you see how he's looking at the money. The card is going to the right, and so you actively take that step, because this is the 9th house of philosophy. And in that philosophy, you understand how you make that money get you what you want, right? And so you have a 9-9, which is the 18, plus the 1, which is the 19, and then again a 10. So the 10 stays. It's very beautiful, right? So you have 3 times the 10. The 10 saying, yes, even Mercury saying a new cycle to go deeper within begins, and you cannot help it. It's pushing you. It's like if you go against it, it's almost like you're saying, oh, no, I don't want, right? But this is what it is, right? And so recognize that you're gonna dance, and you're gonna show to the world what it is that you are hunting for, right? You are hunting for the spiritual knowledge, for anything that you feel now is important to you, right? There is a certain age that we start to want to know about that. And when that moment comes, it's almost like you can never be the person that you were before that. On the position of the High Priestess, you get the Two of Cups. And so the Two of Cups is saying, well, a deep desire for a soulmate love is here, because she's the 2 and this is the 2, so we have a 22. And the 22 is the Fool. And on the Fool came here the Ace of Pentacles. The one and only material financial security that we can really trust is that when we do the things in a way that we work with the planet, in the way that we don't overhunt, right? We don't hunt for just anything. And you see how she's looking right to the right and the bear is looking to the left. That's that intuition, that's that knowledge. And it's really interesting. So here also the dolphin is jumping to the left, and so the desire to meet someone in this 22 portal, which is in the secret brotherhood after 11, the second step of maturity in your consciousness, and the 33 is then the final stage that you can achieve. Then you are a master in the secret brotherhood. So see how you work with this desire, right? It's an intuition. It's something that you really truly want, because this is connected with Venus in Cancer. And Venus is that beauty and that, oh, I just want to be with someone that is just really getting me, is really understanding me at the same time, is challenging me. That soulmate, right? Energy. And you see the 2 cups here, literally like, okay, it's something that I really want, and you are gonna look for it, right? You are gonna go for it. Then on the position of the Empress, you get Scorpio one more time. So you have twice Scorpio, and both of them are facing the left, both of them facing the new moon, both of them are introverted, right? There are some, the Scorpio is facing the right, right? And so it's really interesting. That's why I'm picking so many different cards, just so I learn all about them. But remember, you also had then here the 10, right? Or the 73, which is the explore, the alchemize. And so here the 13 plus the 3 is the 16, is the Tower, and the Tower is Mars. Mars, right? Mars, which is ruling you. And so the 16 is almost like saying, well, then you are gonna break free. You're gonna really drop things, because that's what the Tower does, is breaking things. And the 7 is left. And the 7 is then the emotional intelligence that is coming to you. The 7 is then again that knowledge that you find in the 7, that knowledge of a deep emotional knowledge, so that a person can come to you. Really important, right? And so you cutting off things that are not working for you anymore. And so, of course, here the Empress connected with Venus is literally saying, well, anything that's not making you happy anymore, or is beautiful for you anymore, cut it off, get rid of it, right? That's it. That's that moment where you are like, okay, I'm gonna do it. Then on the position of the Aries, the Emperor, right, comes here the Hanged Man. Now the Hanged Man is the 12 major arcana, and so we have through the 12 a 3. You have again the 10, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Empress, and the High Priestess, right? And so the 3 and the 4 is the 7. Again, that emotional intelligence that you're looking for. And Neptune, which is the dream and is also the spirit inside of you, is wanting to arrive, is wanting to be on a spiritual level enlightened. And so you hang yourself upside down. And it's really good, because the inversions that we do in yoga are good for us. It's like that's where we let go. And so the 7, the emotional intelligence, is coming back here to you and letting you know, yeah, the 3, the Empress, include the feminine as much as you can, right? And then you will see there comes an emotional intelligence, emotional maturity that is going to really satisfy you in that 7 that you are feeling here. Then on the position of the Queen of Wands in the center of the reading, you get the Ace of Pentacle again. And see here, the Ace of Pentacle is brought to you twice. So you have here an 11 portal framing the 12, or then of course the 7, right? Calculate together with the Emperor. The 11 is then again the inner teacher that is coming. Meanwhile, the 22 is when we are seeing the pictures deep within us, when we see that signs and numbers and anything is guiding us and we recognize them, right? The 11 is like that inner teacher. The 11 is that moment where we feel, oh, okay, I really understand now. The 22 is different. The 22 is then that moment of like, oh, I understand the pictures. I understand it to the creativity, but also through a certain sexuality. And so here comes an 11 as well to you, right? So there's a 1-1 portal here and a 1-1 here framing the Hanged Man. And so the 3 is framed with 2 1s, and there's a 1 here with you. And so it's really beautiful, right? You are understanding now that this holy money is something that you really need to cherish. That you, when you reverse, right, you can see up into the sky and recognize that the energy comes down, but also we bring our energy up. Very beautiful. Then on the position of the Star, here in your deck, she's looking down, she's putting her feet into the water. We get the 6 of Wands, and the 6 of Wands is that moment where you are recognizing that Jupiter in Leo is letting you know that to make this money, you gotta take action. You gotta take that kind of action that creates an inspiration through the hummingbird, right? Where he finds the nectar here in the financial section. And so the 17, which is an 8, and the 6 calculated together, we get the 14. That's then again Sagittarius. That's here this crazy dance, right, that he's performing, going out, being alive, right? And so the 9 and the 6 in a way is the 15, which was Capricorn, right? The making sacred. That's what the sacrifice is. Making sacred things is important. But Jupiter in Leo is literally saying, recognize what you have, recognize what you want, because the 6 of Wands is something that is bringing you then a satisfaction that is leading in a victory, right? And you are here sitting with the 6, the third eye, right? Very clear message. But when I calculate the 14 together, I get the 5 left here, and the 5 are the 5 senses, and the 5 senses are always, right, that challenge to overcome, to come then into the 6. And so you see how the hummingbird is facing the outer path. That action that you're taking is the outer path, and that's also what we see here in the hunter. The hunter is also facing to the right, extroverted. Meanwhile, the bear, remember, is introverted, right? It's that slumber. It's a deep sleep. We're waking up. We're looking deeper within. Then on the position of the moon, right? The moon oracle here is coming. The beloved. Now, you have here the 2. And the 2 is saying, well, again, a 22 is talking the beloved, the radical acceptance. Feel deep in your subconscious that the radical acceptance of whatever is right now happening in your life, accept it. The glorious part, but also the not so glorious part, right? The difficulties, the transformation, right? Which turns into a 4, right? And the 4 is always you, right? And then also this state of consciousness, the Hanged Man. But here the 18, which turns into a 9, and the 2 is then the 11, right? So I can create an 11, but I can also just take the 18 plus the 2 is the 20, which is then the calling from the Last Judgment. The calling is to accept everything just as it is, to open your heart no matter how difficult it is. It doesn't matter if you make out of this here a 20 or an 11, right? And the 11 is again here then an 11-11 portal with you and the Ace of Pentacles, the holy money, right? Recognize the holy money, recognize the 11 that is coming here through the subconscious to you. And so of course I want to know what is coming in this radical acceptance, and the Shaman of Disc reverse is coming. The Shaman of Discs is the King of Pentacles, and so recognize now that either the 20 plus the second house is again a 22, or we do the 9 and the 2 is the 11. The 11 and the 2 could be a date, the 11th of February or the 2nd of November. You can choose. But I think here we have the 22, which is a portal, the 22 that's saying it's your calling to find your self-worth in that radical acceptance deep within you, because the Shaman of Discs is reverse, and you see here the eagle, and you see that she is actually asking the eagle for advice. And so in reverse it's saying that you still have a difficult time to really accept yourself, to really come into the 22, to really understand the picture, to really see how everything is talking visually, but also in the numbers, that why I use the numbers. And the numbers never lie. The numbers are very powerful, right? Because then on the position of the sun, you get here the 27, the breath. And the breath is life. And the 27 is again a 9. You had the 27 here with the hunter. So you're hunting for the breath. Now we get the message, right? You're hunting for the breath. You're hunting for the next big adventure. You're hunting for it because you had also here then Sagittarius, which is a hunter. And Sagittarius is like, okay, I want to go out. I want to dance. I want to show the world what we can still achieve, right? Through Jupiter, because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, the grander. And only the breath can make us big, really big, from deep within. And so the 27 is clearly then the 9. Then there's a completion with the 19, which calculated together is the 10 and the 9, the 19, the sun. With the sun, right, you are then connecting, because when you inhale, you take in prana, and prana is the life force. And then so the 19, the clarity comes to you. You open your heart, you open yourself, and you understand. Then the 10 is left. Again, a new cycle begins, a new cycle of understanding how everything is interconnected. And I want to know what comes here when you take that breath. And the 2 of Pentacles is coming. And the 2 of Pentacles is Jupiter in Capricorn. So you have here twice the Ace of Pentacles, right? Which are 2 pentacles, and then again another 2 pentacles. So you have 4 pentacles. 4 is stability. 4 is knowing that you connect deep with the money. That's Sun in Capricorn, right? And that's the last reading. Capricorn Sun gave you the sacrifice, which means make sacred. Make the money sacred. Don't play with it. Don't just juggle with it, because it's reverse. And you see how she is standing here and she's playing but the snake is connecting the cycle. And in reverse, it always means that you are not there yet to understand really how to play with money. But you're going within, and going within, the message will maybe come. If you allow it, right? It's always, it's part of what you want. So you get here also a 2-2, right? And the 2 with the reverse here of the self-worth, right? The shaman of discs, which is Taurus. Taurus are the finances, the banks, and all the things that we need to accept, radical acceptance. Again, understand that. And so the 9 and the 2 is again an 11 that is coming here to you. An 11 plus the 10, then 3 times the 1, plus then the 2 times the Ace of Pentacles, which is 5 times the 1. Understand, right? Everything is speaking here. The 5 is the 5 senses. So the 5 senses are being here as an important understanding of how the 5 senses are blocking us. The 5 senses are always like, okay, that's the challenge. But the challenge is good, because then on the position of the world, you get the 2 of Cups again. The 2 of Cups that came here. The 2 of Cups that said, well, you are looking for a deep love. You are looking for a relationship that is making you happy. And here it's coming on the position of the world. So then the world, the 21, turns into a 3. The 3 and the 2 again is a 5. A 5-5 portal is talking to you. And again, 2 times the 5 is, or 3 times the 5, right? You had a 5 before. 3 times the 5 is like, be empowered in the 5 senses, in the tests. But recognize that the world is bringing you a deep, deep love. A relationship that you are looking for, and that relationship can be you first, but then also can be someone that you admire, that you learning through the world to accept that in the world, that the world is bringing you now through Saturn, through the borders and through lessons, a person that is deeply connecting with you. Because then when we close the cycle here, you can see that Scorpio, the 13, is walking into the exploring, into the alchemy. And there is an alchemy that can happen if you accept just everything that wants to talk to you in your life. And you understand then that here the 13, which turns into a 4, right? And here the 10 is the 14 is a 5. And so a 5-5-5 portal, clearly letting you know, empower yourself, right? With the other 5, it's 4 times the 5, and 4 times is the heart, because the 4 is here the heart that is bringing you to accept that everything will come if you allow yourself to open up to a new consciousness, to the transformation, to this new alchemical awareness that is bringing you the one and only financial endeavor and the one and only financial understanding. And then the love will be here. The love will come in the 22, in the understanding that everything is guided, that everything is connected, and that the message speaks only to you, right? And here I bring you the message, but you are going to fill your story into all these numbers and pictures and make it your own. So I hope I see you in the next one. That's when we get the sun in Pisces. Pisces is the path of love, right? In a way, a little bit like here, right? Venus in Cancer, loving the path, right, that you're taking. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.